Hi guys!
Hey everyone!
Welcome to Make 2 and a special Cities Skylines video.
We're taking a tour through my city today. It's a modular city and we'll explain what that means. We're going to start off with doing some building of a little area of a city all the way off in one little corner, and after that we're going to show you a tour of the whole city. This city is doing pretty well. It's got well over 100,000 people and going strong.
What on earth is that?
I am in this area of the city. There's a whole big hill.
Okay.
And I've
but
I've discovered landscaping. And to landscape I had to dig out all this area with land, and then I had to put all the soil somewhere. You can only hold so much soil at once.
I didn't know that.
Neither did I. I was like, why isn't it working? And so now I've just got a massive anthill on the edge of my city where I'm not going to do any building.
That's so cool. Alright, so what are you doing here?
As I said at the beginning, this city is a modular city. That means it's made of a whole bunch of sections that are all very, very similar. Think of it as small little self-contained neighborhoods in the city, all of which are almost identical, very similar design, and I'm building the start of one of those modules, those little sections of the city right here.
Okay, so I'm just kind of amazed that you have $5 million and 110,000 peeps. What on earth is this?
So the way to build a modular city is to build the same thing over and over and over again.
Right.
To make it as easy as possible to expand the city. So I have a template, 2 bits of the template that I've made. You can see me put all the bits in there. Those are the things I need to build my little module.
Like, I didn't even know that you could create templates.
So this is an asset creation. You know how you can get all this downloaded content from City Skylines?
Yeah.
So that is people in the asset editor doing much cleverer things than I did, but building specific assets, which is just a collection of stuff in the game. At least that's the only way I understand it. So I have made assets, which are these sections of rows that all go together.
So basically you designed it and saved it somehow.
Yeah, I saved it, and I saved it as an intersection. I think I created it as an intersection.
Okay.
Like a highway junction or whatever.
Right.
And then I saved 2 different versions. And also I saved that, you see these highways here that I'm fiddling with now, I saved that as its own special thing as well. It goes a bit wiggledy, as you can see there.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't like the ground all the time, but this is my way of getting people in and out of each of my modules.
So basically all of your modules follow the same sort of pattern, and you just repeated it over and over again in different sections.
Yes, exactly. So I have this kind of fat plus design for every single module. I have been refining and improving the system. I think the one we're seeing now is module number 24, 25.
Wow.
So I built a bunch of them, and also I did some prototyping before this city. But I think now I've got it down and it's working pretty well.
Okay. So what inspired you to do a city like this?
Well, I think there's a city I saw on Reddit and Imgur called Fishbone City, where this person had designed a layout where they had a very standardized system, a module for people going in and going out of the city, and it looked really cool. It looks a little bit prettier than my one, and this person had prototyped it just for a few little parts of the city, and I wanted to extend that for the whole city because when you're building a city, often you just build the same thing again and again, or you get into problems of traffic going crazy. And I wanted to build a city that would be easy to make bigger, not have problems with traffic or happiness or that kind of thing, and would just work seamlessly like clockwork.
So basically you're just kind of playing with a city skylines in a way and trying to make like the most efficient kind of futuristic weird Hunger Games district kind of world. It's not even really a city, is it? Because it's like little, I don't know. Yeah, It's not a city as we would traditionally think of a city, but it's just like lots of these, as we said, little modules and sections, districts, neighborhoods, whatever you want to call them. And just seeing how far you can stretch the game to build your money and population with these things, yeah?
Yeah, but at the same time, I do care about little people. When we do the tour of the city, you're going to see I'm going to be obsessed by showing you my little people walking about. I still think it's pretty cool. This is within the confines of the game, and what our little people like doing in the game. They seem really happy with my design. But yeah, I'm a software developer by day, and I think probably that sense of logic and order definitely was in the back of my mind, or is influencing me when I'm designing this city.
Okay, so it looked like you had some very specific layouts for the bus routes, and now you're putting in very specific layouts for the zoning, yes?
Yeah, because I've done this 25 times and I've got to do it a bunch more, and I've kind of worked out, it's still a little bit hit and miss, but kind of working out what I want to do.
Okay.
So you can see here, there's little thin strips of zoning, and that's where I want to start the zones, because I want to get my zones spread down the module so the electricity can start to flow.
Right.
But it goes in a band of factory, then commercial, then office, and then residential.
Okay.
And right in the middle there of that, you see that square with the crisscross in the middle?
Yep.
That's where most of the services are, like fire and hospital and crematoria and schools.
Central,
Exactly. I've also got a school, an elementary school, and a high school down at the bottom.
Okay.
So now I'm just building up my module. The module infrastructure is in place. All the roads and everything are there by default when I put down my little assets. And now I'm just got to wait for the module to grow in population so I can start filling in those zones and get everything in place.
It does look like you're connecting the modules together by, what was that, a subway?
Yeah, just by subway. This is kind of the hackiest part of the system. There's only one way in and one way out of each module. There's 2 inroads and 2 outroads, but the outroads take you all the way out of the city. There's no way of driving from one module to another module, anywhere in the city.
Okay. The only way to connect them is by public transportation.
Or walkways.
Or walkways.
Yes.
Pedestrian walkways.
I've started adding more pedestrian walkways because the roads don't connect between modules. Buses can't connect between modules either. But from trains and the underground subway, you can.
So basically, if you are, say, Katniss Everdeen living in District Module, 12,
Yeah.
and you want to get to the District Module number 1 for whatever reason, you could only do it by walking a really long way, or
by taking the train.
or by taking the train.
Which is free. Public transport is largely free in the city.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I want to encourage people to take the healthy route to work. So there's lots of bus routes. Every module has 2 bus routes.
Yeah.
Both going around the square, one going north-south, one going east-west.
Now, I think, just because I want to say, like, kind of behind-the-scenes tidbits or whatever, but I think maybe one of your major reasons for experimenting with a city like this is because you really don't like traffic. Am I right?
Do you mean in real life as well as in the game?
Well, both. Definitely
Yeah.
in the game, though.
Because I think in your game you haven't yet hit the pain that results from traffic. In my last game, I made it work. I got to like 90,000, but it was like, we showed it, I think, on the channel, some crazy traffic mess, like spaghetti junctions in order for people to be able to travel safely to places without being stuck in a long line. So I really did want to eliminate traffic, and that was the challenge I set to myself, inspired, as I said, by this Fishbone City. Can I have a city, because each module is so small, these are all just 2-lane roads. Mm-hmm. There's only 2-lane roads and highways, that's it in the whole city.
Right.
But can I have these 2-lane road modules with low traffic? Can I keep traffic low everywhere and still have the population growing?
Okay.
Now, it didn't go 100% smoothly. When we do the city tour, we'll talk through a couple of areas where it went a little bit awry.
All right, so talk me through what's going on right now. Looks like everything is growing.
Yeah, so my zone D6 is growing nicely. I'm able now to zone up a whole bunch of things. It's almost fully zoned. Population of each is probably going to get to 5,000 or 6,000 inhabitants in that little area. And you see, because it's got factory, there's jobs for everybody. There's obviously jobs in commercial. The factory area is really important because that's how the module gets goods for commercial, is from the factories. That was a hard lesson that I learned.
Here they are, coming from
Look
a
at
different
them.
module. Oh my gosh, so
They
cute.
love walking. Yeah, see?
I don't know if they love walking, they just don't know any better.
They do it though, and they love standing around waiting for buses, I've discovered as well.
So now, obviously, you have all of these zones already unlocked because your city is already at a high population and all of that. But how long did it take you in order to get up to that point, building in a modular style?
A long time. I mean, any city takes a long time.
Yeah.
This took only a longer time, I think, because of the modules, because I wanted to standardize things as much as possible.
Right.
I've definitely improved at that, but even so, building out a module takes some time. Definitely having those assets to build out the shape of it quickly really helps. But you've got to wait, like moving in 5,000 people to a new zone takes just quite some time.
Yeah.
Working out the highway routes takes a long time, just like it does in any city. So I think it may be a little bit faster, definitely it's mentally slightly faster, but I want to impose perfect order on my city, so that definitely takes a while to think about. Can't have mess anywhere.
Yeah, but okay, so for instance, when you were first building your modules, like your very first module, you didn't have everything unlocked that you needed it to be. You didn't have office zoning.
Oh,
instance.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
How long did it take you to get that? And then did you have to go back and redo old modules to add office zoning and whatever other buildings?
I actually started off not being able to have modules because when my modules require lots of footpaths, you can see all of the little grids, the blocks are divided up by footpaths.
Yeah.
And you don't have that when you start the game. Like as you said, you don't have office blocks when you start the game. So I started just building a straight, very, very boring grid system. Just grids and zoned it however the game wanted me to. I didn't really care. And eventually I ended up completely deleting that part of the city and rebuilding it as a module. That is now area A of the city, because it was the start of the city. So I did start out with nothing, no modules, and when I got to probably I don't know what it would be, maybe 20,000 population or 15,000, whenever you unlock the pathways, that's when I went full on expanding my city with modules.
Okay. So it looks like you got these weird diagonal offshoots here, and that's on purpose, I would assume, because they're diagonal.
I guess so. I mean, there's two things that create pollution in the city, the factory zones and also the, what are those things called? The garbage incinerators, yeah. So I wanted to have garbage incinerators so that their pollution does not pollute the normal livable parts of the city. So I tried to keep them away from the modules as much as possible, and having them on a diagonal means maybe the drivers have less far to go. It seems that garbage truck drivers really don't like driving very far. So we now have one module fully built. Let's now take a look at a tour of the whole city.
So as you can see here, you've got lots of zones labeled by letter and number.
Yeah, so I've taken the Katniss Everdeen dystopia future to heart. So we have Zone A with 8 modules, Zone B with 6, Zone C with 4, Zone D currently has 5, and Zone X has 1.
Zone X.
That's basically, I don't know, that's probably where Katniss Everdeen grew up. What district did she grow up in? District 12?
Yeah.
So let's dive into the city, shall we? We were working over here in District 6 or District D6,
right,
which now has a population of 5,500 peeps. Pretty good. So they're all doing well. Let's see, can we see little people? Look at them walking around. I love watching them walk around. It's my favorite thing in the game.
So is this all high density residential?
Yep, high density commercial, offices, and high density residential. There is no other form of residential in the entire city.
Okay.
So let's see. This is where I started right here. This was the initial. Let's see. This one here, this road here, was the initial way into the city.
Oh my gosh! What is this?
So I said the kind of hack is having one way into the city and one way out to each module. So in order for that to work, my final solution was to literally have only one way in and one way out. So this is the external main highway. And as you come through, the only way to get in is via this one road. And that will take you to this whole section here. All these 4 modules can only be accessed by this one single road in. Anybody, and then they go down this road, and they can go down any of these offshoot roads to get into their module, their little neighborhood of choice.
I'm going to trust you on that because I see that it still continues to the east. The road is still continuing to the east. I'm still seeing traffic going in that direction. But
that's getting to Zone A. This is Zone... Well, that's Zone... What zone are we in? That's Zone A. This is Zone C.
Okay.
So there's no way to get to Zone C1. That's this one right here You have to go over this bridge. You have to go down this road. You then have to go down this road underneath the railway. And then you can either go in from this road or from this road.
Okay, but then if you want to bypass District C and go into District A...
Then you keep going on the highway.
Yep.
Follow it down this way.
Yep.
Follow it, keep following it, and then you come off this ramp here.
Yep.
And then you get into Zone C, which goes all the way down there.
Zone C. What?
Zone A. Sorry, we were in Zone C. We're now in Zone A.
So basically all modules are approachable like this?
Yes, there's one central highway,
Yeah.
the one route into the city, and likewise, on the way out, you can only come like this truck is doing. Let's stop, let's just show this truck. Let's see where it's going. It is going out of the city. It's going off this ramp, and then it's going away because there's nowhere else it can go other than far off into distant land.
Okay. And the reason that you did it this way is because traffic.
Traffic. I don't like traffic.
This is an ideal solution for there not to be crazy amounts of traffic.
Yeah, I did think, maybe I should just let them be free and they want to travel around. Let them go for it. Why not? They're little people and I like them. I'm their mayor. And God. But I tried it. I had connecting routes everywhere. I had the ability. I even built some special routes to go from, say, Area C to loop round to get to Zone B over here. But my traffic went way down. It went to 60% and traffic was backed up all the way along here. Because I think, though they will drive, I think they will normally drive if they can. But if they can't, they're quite happy not to bother. Like people from C1, they don't really need to drive over to here.
Yeah.
They just,
because they're
want
self-sufficient.
to. Yeah.
So basically the solution to your traffic problem is not just the modular city, but limited connectivity and access.
Yeah, if you want to improve your traffic, make sure cars can't go anywhere.
Yeah, this is definitely Hunger Games.
The fewer roads there are, the fewer connections there are, the less traffic there can be.
Okay.
So with that in mind, let's take a look at some of our stats.
Yep.
We're doing pretty well on the normal stuff, of course.
Yep.
Got lots of thingies. Look how happy my people are.
They are really happy because probably they don't know any better.
My commercial happiness, they know better. I don't know why those commercial people aren't happy, but everyone else
Probably
in the
'cause
90s.
They don't have enough access.
I've worked really hard on my commercial little peeps.
All right.
So I've got 117,000 people. They are paying me tons of tax every week.
Definitely are. Wow.
And they are super happy.
Mm-hmm.
Cute little guys.
Healthcare,
They are
wow.
healthy. Death care is being looked after.
Yep.
There's a lot of expensive real estate.
Yeah.
We don't care about wind. Look at this. Traffic, 93%.
Amazing. Amazing.
Green, green, green everywhere. Makes me so happy. Okay, the rest of this is just nothing. Let's see. Pollution. There is pollution all over the place because, as we said, there's industrial zones in every module.
Yeah.
Because that's how it works. Okay, let's come out of that. So, what should we look at
it's
next?
nice that nothing, the city square for C1 compared to the one next door is slightly different. You've got more trees in the one next door, it looks like.
Yeah, so I do mean to put a whole bunch of trees here. I've done that over here. Scrolling.
Yeah.
So this is a much more lush. I've also put 2 parks in.
That sculpture is massive. What the heck?
This, I think, is one of the special monuments, Statue of Wealth.
I mean, it's bigger than a building. It's ridiculous.
It's
What?
big.
What?
Hey, look at my anthill way off in the distance.
Dragon Mount. Okay. Wheel of Time shout out for people.
So here
who
we've
are
got
familiar.
people just enjoying themselves. And
Sure,
one of my
sure.
favourite views of the city in any module. I'm going to speed it up because I love it. Look at them. Wow.
Like
Teaming.
little ants.
Yeah.
Cars popping into existence from nowhere.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. And occasionally I make a little building. It's clothing. So often those go to little coffee things, like a coffee stand, which I think makes a lot of sense next to a metro station. And then here we have our services, and look at everybody go. You can see everyone walking through the square. Then they get back to over here. They're on the pavement. They're just walking around. They're walking all over here as well.
So within these individual modules, they do have their cars and whatnot, but they just can't really escape the module.
Not unless they
Only-
want to go on vacation somewhere.
Not unless they want to just leave the city.
Yeah. But there are lots of buses. I said I've got a lot of buses for this relatively small area.
Yeah.
There's 6 buses in this one little zone. Like it's 2 lines, 3 buses each unless they need more. And some of them have like 12 buses per line. So there's quite a lot going on. There's it's a garbage problem. There's also metro stops. And let's go to, let's see, I think it's over here. We have a train station as well.
And the train is only for inside the city, not going out.
Yeah, currently it doesn't connect outside. I do want to connect it to outside, I just haven't yet. I was having problems with the trains being so popular. See,
because you can't let your people drive anywhere. They have to take their trains.
Why no passengers on this one? I don't know. It used to be they had like 240 passengers and the bus stop outside would just be completely bedlam. People would be waiting there for days and days and days. I think it was this one was the most problematic.
Right.
There's still some people waiting here, but not nearly as much.
Okay.
Because of some long-winded improvements I had to make. So I think there's tons of this bus line, B6V.
All right, so you did mention that you had some ups and downs in the building process, and I remember listening to you yelling at the game sometimes when your population would suddenly take a dive. So you want to talk about some of the problems and solutions?
Yeah, so some of the problems are definitely, I experienced population drops of 10,000, 15,000. We talked about the traffic already. That was definitely a big problem. One of the major problems was, I think, to do in the end with not enough hardcore industry. Because there's not quite enough routes to the outside, or the routes maybe are too long. So the commercial zones were suffering.
Yeah.
They kept having this thing saying, not enough goods, not enough goods.
But commercial zones suffering all across your world or just in one section?
In every module, because I'd thought in my previous city, I had no, what are these called, factories at all. I just had offices and commercial and residential.
Yeah.
So I thought I'm just going to do the same here, keeps pollution down. But it doesn't work. For some reason in this city, it doesn't work. So I had to put in factories, and it ends up basically about this much factory in every single module. So I had to redo every single module to make more space so that the commercial zones were happy, so that the population wouldn't tank. I also, of course, had problems where I was redoing things and things went terribly wrong and power went out for half the city and everyone started leaving. Definitely garbage collecting has been frustrating because you'd think that, I think I've just got, say one here. I have, that's a crematorium. I have a garbage truck somewhere around here.
What is this? Right here?
Yeah, let's go over here. So I have this incineration plant, and I kind of thought it would be able to tackle this whole area, but it can't. Sometimes it can, sometimes it can't. So for a whole bunch of them, I've had to put 2 incineration plants.
Oh, okay.
Even though they have only 2 of their 27 trucks in use. And they cost $1,440 a week. So I have so many incineration plants, so I tried to reform that. It failed epically. Also, I mentioned this was my first area in the city, and it was just normal stuff. And when I tried to redo this into modules, I had, modules over here, and this was original city. I did something wrong, I don't know why, and just people left and were very unhappy.
Okay, but you think you got a relatively balanced system now?
Yeah.
Sounds like. So what is this area over here? I wanted to ask you with all the water pumping and water sewage. I think you labeled this X. This
is X. This is just for, we're going to do some live stuff if I can. Let's see. I need to lower, can I? Oops.
Okay.
I need to just dump some land over here. Oh, oops. This is the area of the city where I keep all the gubbins, all the stuff that I don't really care about. So all the nasty stuff. That's why I think this is my District 12. I want to make sure they're in water. There we go. So I have a canal area here, a wall here. This is all my water in. And this is all my water out, the sewage.
Gross.
And this zone's other major export is energy. This is all my energy plants. I've got solar and nuclear.
Oh, can you zoom in on a little bit? Because I don't have these in my city yet, and I'm just so curious what they look like. Oh, that's so amazing.
Yeah, I've gone for solar. I do have nuclear, but I don't like nuclear as much. It's really expensive to upkeep. I think it's more expensive to upkeep than solar on a per gigawatt.
Is that a thing? Like,
I don't know.
The game does that automatically, or is this area already
I think this is just because the land was shaped that way.
Okay.
Yeah,
Look at
but
this little person running past the nuclear power plant.
Where are they going?
Poor lady.
She's working at the solar plant.
Okay, cool.
I don't know why she's walking, but
because you make her walk. What do you mean?
She could drive. I don't have any problem with her driving.
Jeez.
So all these people here, they have their own residential and commercial and stuff.
Yep.
Let's check out X1. They're doing land values a little bit low because they are near all the power plants.
Yeah. So you've only labeled them X because...
Just because there's only space for one module over here. They're all by themselves.
Yeah.
These guys are just... They manage the stuff that no one else wants to manage.
But doesn't that look like a little bit of an exit outside the city right there? What is this corridor?
Yeah, these can go in and out, I guess.
Okay.
But it's only this one zone.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I'm just going to finish off, I think, by showing my latest part where we started off this episode.
Yep.
This is the newest section. It is, if you take a look over here, these 4 are done, or these 5 are done. Mm-hmm. It's much denser than, well, this is pretty dense, but it's going to be denser than the rest of the city. This is my first area, Zone A, and it's quite spaced out between these 2 zones.
Yeah.
But here I've gone for maximum concentration, which allows me to do things like have bridges across all of them. So look at all these people.
I do really like pedestrian bridges in this. Oh, there's a little dog. Haha.
Yeah.
2 dogs. I do like pedestrian bridges, but you can make them so steep. I think we showed that in your other cities video where you had like a super ridiculous pedestrian bridge that you made somebody run down.
And here we have this X going across. So you have these modules are connected. These modules are all connected by this big X.
Nice.
And then these modules next to each other are connected by these land bridges, these just on the ground walkways.
Yeah.
We have this old fellow walking along.
To the sports arena? Where is that?
I think he's getting a bus.
Okay.
Let's see where he goes. So, yeah, the other issue to deal with is some people do take really long routes to go places. That's one of the reasons I was quite happy to get rid of the roads, is because there was a little girl I was following around. And she was going to school, and to get to her elementary school, she went literally to the other side of the city. There's an elementary school right where she lives. I put 2 elementary schools in every module because I want those little kids to get their education. And she she walked, then she took a bus.
You're losing him.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like you basically are on the point of breaking the game if your guys are not going where they're supposed to go. Right? If they're not taking the most efficient route, then there's something wrong.
You should test it out in your city, see where people are going. I just think they just happen to randomly go anyway. So I think this guy's waiting for a bus. I hope the bus is going to come. Bus has been a bit glitchy. There he goes. Let's see.
Oh, follow. How cute!
And he's made it. No, he's still on the bus.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember where your sports arena is.
No, so there are all these special monuments you can unlock in the game.
Yeah.
And as you get to different milestones, you unlock them. And I've tried to put every single module gets a special monument.
Okay.
So this one, hopefully this is the sports arena.
Nice, look at that! Oh, there's even more people inside playing this.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. I really love this game. This is so cool.
So this one has a sports arena, D2.
Yep.
This one has a department store.
Oh.
This one has a university, because that kind of counts. And
That's
this
a differently
one,
shaped university than the one I have.
I think it's just because it's embedded in the hill.
Oh, okay. All right.
And this one has a city hall.
Nice.
And this one, I don't know if I've given it one yet.
No, I don't remember you doing that.
Yeah.
Let's give it one now, and then maybe...
Okay, let's see. Go to my monument section. See, I've put in... Some of them you can only unlock if you do things I haven't done yet. But let's see if I have any left. That might be...
Oh, what is that? Servicing services offices. Okay.
Okay, you are going to go over here.
But you don't... yeah, there you go. Alrighty.
And...
Just spend
bang.
money.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a very big building compared to the rest of the module. Wow.
Wow, let you go up this ramp
here.
here.
Huge. What the heck? Yeah, that definitely has that feeling of a sci-fi dystopian society.
This one
like
is
the Big Brother watching over everybody down below.
This one is pretty hardcore as well.
What was the one in the Lego movie called?
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah, the one played by Will Ferrell, the big baddie who just was on top of his huge tower doing Taco Tuesdays and all that stuff.
Yeah. So this is my modular city. Making lots of money. Traffic is doing well. Got a big population. We've gone up just even during this little tour. I've gone up by 4,000, which is pretty cool. Still, things aren't perfect. I've got some derelict houses and no doubt some problems over here. Oh dear. So I've still got some things to work on, and I have this last little section to expand in my city.
But hey, as far as keeping traffic good and having your money and population grow, it seems like this is a pretty good system.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It's definitely been a learning curve. And yeah, I think I'm going to build it out for the rest of these zones, and then I'm going to call it a day on this city. I'm hoping to get to, let's say, around 150,000 maybe if I fill all these out. And I'm hoping this section here will be D perfection. Zone D will be perfect.
Okay.
And then my next city, I'm going to really try hard to be less ridiculous and organized.
So I don't know if anybody would be interested in a building tutorial or like a walkthrough of building one of these modules, but let us know in the comments if you are, and also just like let us know in the comments what you think of the whole thing. And if you are new to our channel, feel free to subscribe because we've got plenty more city skylines on the way.
Thanks for watching.
Is that a fallen tree over there? Back up a little bit. Zoom out. Turn to the left. What is that?
Oh no!
What's going on here?
I don't know.
Did you know that trees could fall?
No.
Oh my goodness.
I was noticing the British flag and the French flag on City Hall.
What on earth?
Oh, we're gonna have to do something about that.
Huh.
Let's see, can I get...
Wow.
Okay, let's put in a tree.
It also looked like a really big one. Like, super tall once it fell down. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.